In this ASMR series, I will talk about the topic fear. Katz. Welcome back to my ASMR YouTube channel. My name is ASMR Katz, and you clicked on the new series, the ASMR Alphabet, where I will talk about different topics from A to Z. I already talked about A to E, so I am now at F. If you are curious what the other are about, feel free to click on all the videos I already prepared for you. And if you already like what you see, feel invited to follow, subscribe, click on the notification bell, and put your headphones in, because this is a high quality recording. And you can listen to the full sound with headphones. So fear. I have to say that this series started a little bit random. I thought, I start at 8 and we'll see where we will move. But I would say this ASMR Alphabet series goes a little bit more about feelings. And it's very nice to talk about feelings, I would say. And I hope you enjoy it too. So fear. You actually can very easily see what kind of person you are by asking yourself, what is the most emotion you have in your life? And I would say that a very big part of our society is triggered by fear. What is for sure very sad, because fear holds us back. Always. To overcome fear is always hard, and it's actually never done with only one time. But to overcome fear gives a lot of energy and new meaning. What is kind of amazing. Oh, you hear the sound? I live on the countryside, and this is an old tractor driving through. I hope you will pass. That sounds pretty big. What a bass. It's super bass. So back to the topic of fear. I try to remember when my first actual fear kicked in. And I have to say, I think it was the first time when I jumped from a very high stone into the water. I remember that I knew when I jump in there, I can see what's down there. I see that a lot of people jumped before me, but it was so scary for me. With this fear came also the excitement and the adrenaline in my life. And it gave fear a completely new meaning I was not able before to see. I was a very, very curious person, and I never had so much fear in my childhood, where I'm very happy about. But I know now, when I look back, that fear is not directly something in yourself. It comes from points where others lay their fear on you. When you see kids who are getting treated fearless, they overcome their fear in a very good way. But when you get treated so fearful, when everything is fear all around you, then you have also way more fear inside of you. And fear comes from sure through experiences. So when I was able to jump in the water, I overcame my fear, and a lot of adrenaline rushed inside of my body and made me feel happy that I overcame my fear. So it is a really amazing part to overcome fear. But sadly, when I was the next time again at this place, I felt this fear again. It is so crazy when I think about it. And it really happens all over in different periods of life again and again. That you are fearful because of different kind of experiences, and even so you overcome the fear, you still have it inside you, and it kind of haunts you. And it's such a gift to overcome the fear and don't let it eat you up. For sure, fear is also a natural instinct. If we wouldn't feel fear, we would make way more mistakes. I'm sorry that I'm always yawning. But I had such a long and stressful day. And now my mind and my body come a little bit to a relaxed state of mind, and so the yawning is the part where I just able to let go, release the stress and relax. Maybe you yawn now too. I heard that someone have to yawn. When you even watch at someone else, then you also have to yawn. It's so crazy that our body does this reaction. I don't understand exactly why. So fear. When we wouldn't have the mechanism of fear, we would be not able to see in situations in this full emotion that we shouldn't do some certain things because they are very dangerous. But sometimes it is also a trap, because sometimes it's just amazing to actually overcome fear and get adrenaline and after self-confidence. There are some who put this kind of emotion to the next level. And they are so good in overcoming the fear. When I think about big YouTube creators like Adrenaline Addiction, who makes his living from making flips into the water, and now jump with a wingsuit and make flips and whatever, then I know that he is a master in overcoming fear, and calls even himself Adrenaline Addiction, because people are addicted then to the adrenaline fear makes. And for sure I like it too, in my fully own way, and I know you like it too as well, in your own way. I would be happy if you could let me know how you are able to overcome fear, and what means fear to you in the comments, and where you feel the most fear. So when I was young and I made the experience of jumping from this cliff inside of the water, overcoming my fear, it was something very visible. The fear of falling into the water and don't know what's under, how it feels to fall, to not jump against a stone or slide or slip and fall. And then, at some point, when you're no child anymore, this feeling of fear from this so visible fear you have, like me, on the stone jumping in the water, turns at some point to a fear only made inside of the head. How crazy is this? Why is it happen that at some point, when the childish attitude get more and more behind, and the fear grows inside of your mind only and holds you back. When I see how fearless kids are, I am so jealous. Why? I am not that fearless anymore as I was in the past. And why? Fear is now an instrument in my mind to hold myself back. And why so many out there are triggered so much by the emotion of fear that they are afraid to move on in their life and to overcome fear, to get the excitement of having the ability to make things work. I know that in a lot of us is that sort of wanting to having this feeling of adrenaline in our body because it's a very nice one. But then we trigger the adrenaline through the wrong reasons, and the fear is still there. When I see, for example, how crazy people drive on the motorcycle, I would absolutely not be able to do the same because I would fear to fall and not die and just being all vegetable in a wheelchair, whatever. I also see that there are differences of fears in male and female on different kind of emotional and rational basis. My partner always say it's so nice when we drive with the skateboard, for example. Males are so good in driving skateboards and females are just not. And I see myself that I stand in front of the pool, want to make a drop in, and I'm so full of fear. And it overcomes me again and again every time I try to flip, to go in the pool with the skateboard and make a drop in. For me, it's very, very hard to set my mindset straight to overcome this fear and just do it. Even so, I would say that I am like the adrenaline and would not consider myself as a crazy, fearful person. But still, it is in me. And it's really hard to get it out. And I asked myself, when in my period of life the fear have taken over to an amount that it only can get constructed in my mind, even so none of it is actually true, has happened to me. Maybe it could, but it happened. I always try to work to overcome this fear in my mind. As I already said before in one episode, I made a Vipassana retreat for 14 days, and I have different kind of rituals who help me overcome my fears. And I'm very happy that I'm open for them and to explore them, to feel good and know this is exactly what I want. So the very, very nice thing about fear is that we are not alone with our fear, but we have to work in ourselves to be able to let that fear go and to trust within ourselves. And to build up trust is tough work. And to overcome fear feels also very intimidating, because when we overcome fear, we can be months later at the same point and still be there, because we are so triggered by it. What would be our world without fear? Would it be a better place, or would it be more worse? Good question. So there are a lot of tools who can get used to overcome fear. And every human on this planet have a different experience, thought, emotion, what triggers their fear. I know that I have my fears who not would be the same fears for somebody else. And I know that my fear is something what came out of my past and what also can change my future. And I would say, from the people I've met, that people who are able to let the fear more behind and living their life with less fear than others, they live, principally, a very good and fulfilling life. But this also took a hard, tough work to come there. And it all started in the mind, and it all stays in the mind. And only through practice. Doesn't matter if you make a drop in a pool, jumping on a lot of occasions from a cliff, or whatever it takes to overcome fear is what brings you further, and what should remind you that fear shouldn't lead your emotions. Fear is a very healthy part of not doing too much mistakes who can be harmful and hurtful and get you killed, but also to stop the mind with the always turning stuff of emotion called fear, we need an experience who remind us over and over again that we shouldn't have so much fear. That we take it as emotion, but should feel way more happiness instead of fear. And I wish you that you can remind you always with very simple steps that fear is not the main emotion and should not be the main emotion in your existence. Because you can do. Because you are able to overcome that fear and turn it into adrenaline and something that makes you happy, and show that it's just a tiny little part. And this tiny little part have to be sorted out, that you can think about it, let it go again, and live and move on. And it is very hard. And it needs a constant reminder. But it is worth it. And I hope for you that you will find this piece of the puzzle to let fear more behind. And don't take it as one of the main characters in your emotions. Always question yourself why you fear. What is the fear about? Name it and release it. And when it comes, take it as it is or overcome it. To make more space for better emotions. My name is Katz, and I'm happy you clicked here on my video and listened to my words I whispered in your ear about the emotion of fear. This is the ASMR alphabet, and if you liked it, feel free to follow, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Let every of your friends know that I'm here for you. Maybe you fall asleep now and don't hear that anymore. Or maybe you're still listening and enjoyed this episode the same as I did. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see you at the next one. Because after fear comes G, and there I also have a very nice emotion waiting for you. I will talk about an ASMR style. No matter where you are right now in this world, have a good time.